First personal 15 foul. Time out on the court. All right, 2 free throws. Three-pointer, Dominic Green. Three-pointer, Donovan Dorsey. Richardson. Timeout is called. Five. First half play, University of Southern California Trojans 44, USC Huskies 33. First half time there by the
All right, we got some.
new pointer, Matisse Bible. Now, it's calling the Huskies, number 15, Galen Center. Now, it's called on the Trojans, number 12. It's press. Officials time, call on the court. Possession to the Huskies. Huskies, number 12, Andrews, fifth personal.
It was a good win for us. Washington's an excellent basketball team. They were a game ahead of us in the standings, so now we're tied. And we've had two very competitive games, one up there in Seattle a few weeks ago and one tonight. So Washington is as good as athletic and as talented as any team we've played all season. And so very fortunate to come out on top.
Coach, did you think that this team would turn around so fast after the last few years that you've had?
Well, we didn't put any goals in the preseason about wins and losses. We've been working on the process of getting better. We've had two recruiting classes. The two right now, the freshmen. Our other recruiting class played last year for the first time. And then we have Nicola and Julian who have, and Srihenia, who are here. Julian and Nicola were freshmen when we came 2 years ago. So I give our players a lot of credit. They've come together as a team. They've improved, and our goal has been to work on the process of getting better each week, each month, not on the end result. So I don't know how many games we're going to win or lose this year. I have no idea, and we haven't focused on that the entire season. We know the Pac-12 is as deep a conference as any in the country. I think the RPI of the Pac-12 is rated second or third in the nation right now, and every game's a challenge. So we certainly have a long way to go. I am proud of our players because they bought in. They're great teammates, and they've done everything we've asked. Well, Andrews is the leading scorer in our league, and he's so good at driving the ball. He's very physical. He gets to the foul line a lot. We try to play with our chest and our feet instead of reach and try to close the driving lines or the gaps, as we call it in basketball, to try to shrink the gaps and close off the driving line so he couldn't get all the way to the rim because he's so good at drawing contact once he leaves his feet in anywhere from 6 feet in, he can really get to the foul line. So that was a big emphasis of ours to try to keep him out of the paint, try to help when we could, and then recover out if he kicked it out to shooters.
Given how the first matchup went with Washington, just how good does this one feel to actually held off the second half charge this time?
Well, Washington's a great team. So they're very explosive, as you see. They can put points up. You blink, and they put 8 or 10 points up in 45 seconds or a minute. And so no lead is safe with this team, and we knew we had to play 40 minutes. But this win feels just as good as any other Pac-12 win. It's one win, and we know we have 9 games left.
Nicola obviously had a big game. Was that you guys trying to incorporate him in the game plan, or just the flow of the style of the game?
Well, Nicola's extremely talented and skilled, and he played within himself tonight and made some moves and was able to finish and get to the rim, and then he made his free throws. So he's a really good basketball player. There's nothing we did tonight to say, hey, we want you to go out and score 28 points. We just said, go play your game and have some fun.
Chimezi had a pretty frustrating game. He showed that frustration on the bench a little bit. What did you tell him to maybe calm him down a little bit? Because he had a couple big plays at the end of the game.
Well, that's my assistant coach's job. I'm trying to coach a game, so whatever they said, they've done a terrific job all season with our players. Chimezi does get a little emotional, but that's what makes him a very good basketball player. But he has to learn to control his emotions, and we'll work on that. He's only 18 years old, and he certainly has a long way to go.
Still undefeated at home, man. Can you talk about that?
I'm sorry?
Still undefeated at home now, so can you talk about that streak?
Well, the home court it's really hard to win in this league on the road, and our goal is to make it hard for other teams to come in here and beat us. So the fans just were great. Nice student crowd. I thought the arena was packed with enthusiastic USC fans, and so anytime you can get that extra advantage on your home court, it makes a big difference. And we've gone into other places where it's challenging, and so we want this Galen Center to be what we faced on the road and give us the edge. Well, we just try to challenge shots. Sometimes they challenge them too well because we fouled 2 3-point shooters in the last minute. But we just try to challenge the shooters and hope they miss. A lot of good players in this league, and you have to try to run them off the line if you're going to. The last thing you want to do is give up 10 or 11 threes in this league because it's hard to come back from that.
And you guys have 11-point halftime lead. They cut it to 57-50. They called that timeout. What did you tell your team about?
Just to settle down and play our game. It's the other teams are good in this league, and they go on runs, and we just have to keep playing. And defensively, we were making a couple mistakes, but a lot of that was their skill level and their athleticism. So a lot of times we were in the right position, we boxed out, and they would make a tough shot, or they'd come over our backs, not foul us, but just go get the rebound over us. And so whenever you play an athletic team like Washington, you just have to play every possession, and there are going to be possessions where they outplay you. And so we just had to settle our team down, and I thought they came out and did a good job.
How much does last game come into play there? Do you have the same thing to keep that out of play?
The only thing we talked about last game was our turnovers against their press, and just not get frustrated or rattled if they turn the pressure up. And so we did a decent job. We have a few more. Our turnovers tonight, we had a couple, probably 5 or 6 uncharacteristic turnovers, but for the most part we controlled the game as far as moving the basketball, driving when we had to. We got to the foul line, but we didn't really focus on last game other than, hey, this is a very good team you're playing. You know how good they are, how athletic they are, and you got to come play.
Were you surprised that they didn't bring more pressure?
Well, they played 4 guards a lot, so they like to put big on the ball, and when they went to 4 guards, it really decreased the effectiveness of a trap on the first pass. So you want to they put their big, long, athletic guy up front of the press, and he goes in traps. It's pretty hard to get it out of that trap sometimes, but when they went 4 guards, it's a little easier to get it over a 6'5" or 6'6" guy than it is someone 6'10" or 6'11".
Obviously, it's a good weekend after a nice weekend before. How are you feeling about UCLA coming this week?
Well, UCLA is our next Pac-12 game, and they're an excellent basketball team. I think all our players understand how good they are and how good they've been. We had a nice game against them a couple weeks ago in Pauley. We're fortunate enough to win, but that doesn't mean anything Thursday night. They're probably as talented offensively as any team we've played against in the last couple of years. So we know how good they are, and we respect them. And it's going to be hopefully a nice atmosphere here in the Galen Center Thursday night, and we just have to compete.
In the past, you said this team is close to becoming a very good team. line now?
We were still close. Still close. We have some things we need to work on and get better and or improve upon. But we're closer now than we were a month ago and certainly 2 months ago.
The balance,
Coach.
the balance tonight, 5 guys scoring double figures. Obviously, Giovanni was a huge game. McLaughlin had a very impressive line. Stewart, Reinhardt, everyone seemed to contribute. How big has that been this year? Just the balance of your team.
Well, we've been able to pick each other up, meaning if 1 or 2 or 3 players have off nights, maybe they don't shoot the ball well or they don't get as many shot attempts because of the flow of the game, their teammates have been able to do it that night and carry the scoring load and make plays for their teammates. And if you look at our stats, you have six players averaging double figures. I think Metu in the Pac-12 was averaging 8.5 points a game, so almost 7 in the Pac-12. So that's a very good problem to have as a coach. We don't have anyone that's going to go score 25 or 20 a night. You know, Andrew Anders scores 20-some a game. We don't have anyone like what we have. We have extremely talented offensive players. They share the ball. They buy it into making the extra pass. And I think if you look at our scoring totals and our assist numbers, we're leading the league in assists because we're sharing the basketball. And whenever you have 2 lead guards like McLaughlin and Jacobs on the court, they're very hard to scout against because they can dribble, penetrate, and make plays for their teammates. And then we just need to make shots.
Coach,
Yes.
Coach, can you talk about the points in the paint and second chance opportunities? How effective that was for you, and how important it was to winning the game?
Well, we knew we had to keep them out of the paint, so we wanted to try to win the battle of points in the paint. I think we did 40-34. The second chance points, we were up 22-20. So we try to do our job offensive rebounding, but Washington's the #1 offensive rebounding team in the Pac-12. And some of the offensive rebounds they made tonight were just spectacular. I mean, Marquise Chris coming out, rebounding out of his area, and you just shake your head because that's just a talented young man, and he just went and got it. So we were trying to put bodies on people, and then if we couldn't get it, at least tip the ball. And for the most part, we did a good job. They had a couple offensive rebounds in the second half where I thought we should have had, but your point is well taken because the points in the paint and the offensive second chance points, rebounding, were certainly big keys of the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? Jordan, you guys lost a big lead against Washington when you guys played in Seattle. What was the difference when they started to make that comeback in the second half today that kind of let you guys push that a bit forward?
We just remained poised. You know, we understood what we went through when we were up there. So yesterday in practice, we made sure we worked on our press break and everything, making sure people come back to the ball and help out the person that's getting trapped. So we really emphasized all our mistakes that we made up there, so we wouldn't make them today.
Jordan, you switched teams.
Nah, this is just something I got made by my mom.
How is your health? I know you were sick for about a week. What was did you figure out what was ailing you, and how are you now?
I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was common cold, flu, but it got me pretty good. But, you know, I'm feeling a lot better now. Making sure I take care of myself off the court and get treatment and everything. Make sure I take the meds that cured my sickness. And so I'm feeling pretty good now.
This is for both of you. Given what happened last time in Seattle, were you particularly looking forward to this one getting another shot at them?
Oh yeah, definitely. That first loss really hurt us because we were up by 22 and somehow we managed to lose the game. And I think it was a big learning experience for us. And we were really we're thinking about this game all the time, and we were really excited for this matchup. So we prepared really well, and we were able to win the game.
Just contain them and stop penetration. So we worked all week shrinking the gaps and making sure everybody's in help. That way he's not able to have as many driving lanes as he normally does. So we worked on that all week in practice yesterday, making sure we shrink the gap and make sure not everyone's allowed to drive.
And how much did you think that had to do with winning?
I think it helped a lot. You know, he's scoring 20 plus a game, and so And without him being as effective, getting to the rack and everything, with us shrinking the gaps, I think it helped us majorly.
Nicola, you guys are undefeated at Galen Center. Can you talk about the advantage you guys have here at Galen Center now?
Yeah, I mean, I said last time, and I don't like to repeat myself, but like it really means a lot when we have a almost sold-out crowd. It boost our energy up, and it really helps to win the games. And I'm sure for the next one against UCLA, it's going to be a memorable night.
Jordan, you guys only missed 8 shots in the second half. What was different, especially after halftime? Were they just falling?
Yeah, just falling, and then also, coach emphasized during halftime, driving, making the extra pass, making the right play for a teammate, and getting wide open shots, and just having the confidence to knock him down. So it was a little bit just penetration and kick, and then knocking down wide open shots.
You guys had a chance to get the release in the last possession. I think there were a couple seconds left. You could have pulled it out, but Keaton took that shot. How important is that to you guys? Is that a goal of yours?
I mean, not really. We don't care how many points we score. We just want to have fun out there.
Yeah, as long as we have the most in the end, we're good.
Nicola, you were working against a bunch of high-flying guys who are, but they're young and probably not as physically strong as you. How much do you exploit that?
I mean, whoever I play, I'm just trying to adjust my game. Either like he's a faster guy or stronger guy, so I can just like mold my game towards that and get ready. I think also coaches are doing a great job to prepare us against the matchups. So when I'm out there, I always know what I'm going to do.
What were you able to exploit, especially about
I mean, coach mentioned that they're like offensively in the league, like the first, but like in defensive rebounds, they're the last. So we knew we can attack the offensive lads in class and hurt them over there. So that's what we did.
How are you guys feeling about UCLA coming up on Thursday?
Be a very good game. They're a good team. We're a good team. We had the upper hand at their place last time, so we just got to come and compete again.
For Nicola, how do you feel about your front line now maturing at this point in the season? Because you have Boatwright, and me too, yourself. That's pretty awesome. You have 3 big men able to rotate and also hit from the perimeter as well. So you're inside and outside. How do you feel at this point in the season?
Yeah, I feel really comfortable because when I'm out there with Benny, he's like really stretch forward. He can like spread the court and shoot a 3-ball, and we're interchangeable, so like we can do both things, and it really like helps like playing inside.
And for me too, he's coming up. He's a freshman, of course, but he's getting involved and getting more experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we work really hard on practice, and we're trying to improve every day.
Okay, thank you.
Well, even though you had a big game, were there times when you would look up and see Chris or one of these guys on these high-flying lobs and rebounds? I mean, how impressive were they just athletic?
I mean, they were, but like it didn't really hurt us that much.
There's a question for both of you. You guys how do you feel about being at the top of you were picked to be at the bottom. Now you're at the top. How does it feel being at the top of the Pac-12?
I mean, it feels good. We're just trying to stay humble as a team and keep working hard because past 2 years were really hard for us and big learning experience. We're getting in the gym every day to work hard and just try to be in this position. So we're gonna enjoy it in the same time, but like it's not over, and we know we have like so many games till the end of the league. So we're just gonna keep playing hard.
Jordan, what was working for you out there tonight? 21 points, you filled out the stat sheet, rebounding, passing. Just felt like you were just really in the zone out there tonight against a really good Washington team. What was working for you?
I was just able to make the right plays tonight. Shots started falling, and then got to the line, got to the free throw line, and saw the ball go in a couple of times. So when you're able to see the ball go in a couple of times, get a couple easy ones, it starts to get a little bit bigger. So it was good for me to get a couple easy ones from the free throw line, and then I was also able to make some plays for my teammates.
Question for Jordan. Jordan, in the maybe 2/3 of the way in the first half, you lit the spark there for the 3-point, 2 or 3 in a row, consecutive 3-pointers. Does Coach emphasize that at certain points in the game where you have that green light, and if somebody's effective, it's contagious. It kind of spreads to the other teammates, and that was a big boost there in the first half.
Well, Coach gives everybody a green light. If you're open, he wants you to have confidence and knock it down. He's never pulled anybody out of the game for taking a wide open shot. So he gives confidence to everybody, and just make sure you set your feet and knock it down. So with the coach giving us that type of confidence, it just raises our confidence on the floor where we knock down shots. So.
kind of contagious though in the first half when you need that spurt, and it came.
Yeah, definitely. Once one person gets going, we try to keep going to him, or once he gets going, that he'll get more closely guarded. So everybody else is able to start scoring. So it's contagious.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And here we go now. The post-game interview with Chimezie Metu, a huge addition to the USC Trojans and a very, very happy Warrior today. He's a winner over the University of Washington Huskies. And Chimezie, let's talk about the game today. It's a big, important win in the Pac-12.
Yeah, a really big win. Hopefully tonight we can get a little bit of luck and Oregon loses and we can be tied for first place, and we'll just go from there.
And you're contributing already to the very, very wonderful likings of Coach Enfield. He's very happy with your development, and we asked him in the press conference how you are now developing with Nicola, of course, and with Benny Boatwright, and he's very happy with the front line.
Yeah, all three of us, we go out and practice pretty much every day. When we get in the game, we try to help each other out, always have each other's backs, and we just try to play hard every night and just protect the paint.
And you are a very, very astute student of the game. You make the most of your minutes, as we can tell. You came in, did your work, and as they say, you put on the hard hat and went in to do what you had to do, defense and, of course, some offense, but a big block at the end of the game.
Yeah, I sat for a little bit. Coach put me back in, and I'm just always ready to go in, ready to play, and it paid dividends today.
So, Mizi, let's kind of wind the clock back, not too far ago, but maybe a couple of years ago when you were developing at Lawndale High School. Let's talk about what you did to prepare for that.
Worked out every day in the summer. Listen to my coaches. Sometimes I would get a little hot-headed, but they just always work with me, and I'm just really thankful to went to Lawndale and met the right people there.
And during your time, we saw you then. That was the first unveiling of being able to see Chimezie Metu in his home environment. And I'll go back to Rico's Get Better League when you played there as a youngster. That was in the summer, and then also working out with Coach Johnny Parker.
Coach Parker helped me a lot, working on skill every day, working on the stuff we did. I tried to work on it in the games in Rico's Get Better League. I was kind of like I think I was a freshman then. Everybody was stronger, bigger, and I just tried to learn from those guys, see what they were doing, try to take some parts of their game, and it really helped a lot.
And of course, during that summer league with Rico's Get Better League, it was of course my son who was at the head of that. Developed a lot of good young men at that time.
Yeah, he did. I just try to just follow in their steps and just listen to what Rico had to offer, and he helped. The league helped a lot.
Okay, and now here you are, Pac-12, at the pinnacle of your game. Now you're only a baby, as they say, in the business of playing Division I college, but you are ready to go. Very anxious to play.
Yeah, I'm just really happy to be here, and hopefully I can have a really fruitful career.
Now they're looking, of course, tied for now with the Washington here at the Pac-12 at the top of the heap, but the big game again. And you had against the UCLA Bruins in that game a huge breakout game, 21 points. You're on their radar screen, as you know, but you expect it to be a very, very important game played here at home.
It's going to be a huge game for us, crosstown rivals, and we're just going to try to come out and just play really hard, play great defense, and try to win the game.
Okay, Chimezie, last question. Have you decided what your major is going to be here at USC yet?
Yeah, I'm a law, history, and culture major.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good, and so far so good. Classes and the social life and the school life is all blending together.
Yeah, everything's awesome. Great people around campus. Great people just in the school period, and it's just been really fun so far.
Last question. I'm going to leave it in this way because your parents, your folks, people that were very critical in your upbringing, very positive with you and your ethics and your principles. Anything you would like to share with our viewers and of course your teammates, family, anyone who's watching this or one of your fans about how important the family was?
Very important because win or lose, bad game, good game, they're always going to be there for you. They're always cheering. And I'm just really grateful that I've had my family in my corner the whole time during the recruiting process, high school, and now in college. It's been really great.
So, Chimezie, me too. Thank you for our first interview with you, and we will come back to do more.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There it is. Chimezie Metu, a big factor in the win tonight over the Washington Huskies, 98-88 the final, and that will do it for this edition of UCLA Sports and covering Pac-12 basketball and, of course, the USC Trojans. For Eric Sarney, yours truly, Rico Cabrera, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on our next edition. Take care. See you soon.